the timing of the candles are so important because of that. Got to understand when they open up and what they're going to do when they open up. So we just got to sit here and be patient now. Play the waiting game. We'll see. We'll see if we can't get this thing to break down. But again, noticing like we're only 3 minutes into the new hourly candle. So that new hourly candle has no top wick, right? So that drop there, even if it were to drop outside of the support here, I wouldn't be willing to sell it because of the timing and the new candle opening. There's just no there's no top wick, so it could just break below the support and then shoot back up and create one. So I'm just being patient right now. It's New York open as well. See what happens. Oh, gold. Wow. We were just speaking about this in the group. Oh my God. Literally just talking about this. I was just saying that. Oh my God. That happens so fast. So the gold sell range, the gold sell in this range looks good from underneath 17, like 21, back down in this 4-hour candle. So it broke out and it already ripped like the first range 30 pips just about. Second range, we melted about 25 pips. Yeah, that one's tough. I was talking about how gold is chopped the upside, so I won't be playing any buys there. 15-minute breaks below the lows I'm selling. That 15-minute broke the lows. I already missed the sell. So just let it run. No need to chase it. Probably coming back down to the support. So would have been up like 25 pips and leave some runners on the table. So we'll see what happens with it. I'm not too interested in gold. That was the move I was expecting. So now I'm just going to leave it alone. It happened way too fast. Let's look at the 1 minute and see. That's what I normally enter off of for gold. Yeah, that's perfect entry right here. Literally perfect. 1 minute candle closed right below that zone that I had showed in here. That's 1721, that 4-hour wick sitting there. That's where I wanted to sell under. So if you go back and look, there's the 4-hour wick that I wanted to sell under. And this thing is just getting destroyed right now. That would have been perfect. First candle would have taken me to first target, leave some runners. That's nice, real nice. Whatever though. So now the way you manage these is like, just these candles keep making highs and highs, highs and highs. So as soon as it gets disrespected, just close it out, you know? So that's approaching that final target that I had over here. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Went without me. Wow, right when I was opening the Zoom, that happened. That's hilarious. So GJ, I'm still not liking that 1 hour candle didn't create a top wick. And this thing looks like it wants to break to the downside. Let me check one more time on this broker. Yeah. Does your guys' 15-minute have a top wick on GJ or no? Mine does not. Anyone in here have a top wick on GJ, like the hourly? So ideally, like if this candle had everything that I wanted, right? A top wick, which it doesn't. So I'm not trading it. But If it did, what I would do is like play a 15-minute break of this zone. But if the momentum's looking like a little too much to wait on that, I'll wait for like a smaller time frame, like a 5 minute to close out. But I really think we're going to create a top wick on this hourly candle. There's still some nice like bearish structure though. We created this high, then a lower high, lower high. So even if it does pull back to create an hourly top wick, we could easily push back down to sell off. Just got to be patient here. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Gold, there it is. It hit the target. So we couldn't even. It happened so fast while I was in the Zoom link. The sell happened way too fast. But again, like here in the group, you can see we were talking about it earlier. I was talking about the gold buys are chopped to the upside, so I won't play the buys. We'll break of the 15-minute lows, and I'm going to sell it. And I had given the range here, but it happened way too fast while I was sending the link. So that entry is perfect though. That is just melt straight down 50 pips off the 1 minute. Yeah, it's insane. So now like second target would be somewhere in here. Oh, look at GJ. There it goes without us. Unfortunate. Yep. Man, those are my moves for today. Those were my moves for today. Let's see the 1 minute entry on this. What do we got going on here? Man, this thing's lagging on me. Wow, so that's an impulse entry there. Price melted off, first target hit. Yeah, so the reason, if you guys are wondering why I didn't take this, was because this 1 hour candle opened and immediately shot down. So it created no top wick. So with that being said, like I don't know where that candle's going to stop, right? It's going to create a top wick, most likely. Look at every other hourly candle. Every other hourly candle, 99% of these, 95%, they all have wicks both directions. So that's a huge gamble to say, okay, I'm going to take that entry knowing that this candle has no top wick, right? So that's where the patience comes in. I missed my trades today, right? And I'm not going to chase anything. Like that's literally it for me. What feels good about it is that I was right. And I sat and just, did what I do. I didn't rush into it or nothing like that. I didn't get the FOMO to miss it. That's okay. There's always another day tomorrow. Wow, that's funny though. Both trades today. Both trades. I wouldn't be surprised. So you guys remember me saying before any of this even happened, we were building the lower time frame structure. We were waiting for the hourly and the 15-minute to pull back and create its top wick, and then to take the sell underneath the support. This 4 hour wick here, I was showing you guys on the 4 hour time frame. This 4 hour support here was first target, and then to fill this wick down here, this 4 hour wick, second target, and this clean 4 hour candle, third target kind of area. But again, when there's no top wick on the 1 hour, I don't know where this is going to pull back at. So for me to take a sell right underneath the broken support, knowing that there's no top wick, the chances are that, it's a higher probability when we have a top wick over the times when we don't. So that's when I just sit and wait, and I'm okay with missing the move. I'm not like entering FOMO now and trying to sell it and hoping for the best, right? That's not how that works. So literally both moves, both done today. Looks like 80. Gold's on its way to second target down here, like 94 pips. And I'll explain something as well, like something a lot of people do, right? And we have to understand that we've been watching, we're starting to see the sentiment kind of shift on GJ now, right? So I'll break this down like from a higher time frame perspective and really put this thing into perspective here, right? Last week, we were selling GJ 2 weeks ago into last week. This number has dropped 3% within just 2 days. And what this is an average of these brokers, their clients, long and short positions. And I know that when we're too far heavy on one side, 90% of traders just flat out suck. So I try to do the opposite of wherever the heavy number is. So if you go look on gold, right, 70% buyers, our ideas of selling make perfect sense, right? I mean, it's just that the overall structure is there. And then if you look at the momentum going into New York, right, the momentum is to the downside. We're creating lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So what are the chances that, there's 70% buyers sitting in gold, all getting absolutely destroyed right now? As well as on GJ, right, we saw 70% sellers, and we had buys, all the way. Let's get off the 15 minute, but I need to get on GJ. We had buys all, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, coming up into this strength here. We had buys all session, all these sessions. We had a few sells selling into the strength on the pullbacks, but now we're kind of starting to see price stall out. And what we're seeing here is the sentiment is shifting as well. The sellers are lowering down. It's going to even out more towards 50-50. And these are the times to catch the corrections on these moves. Like if you go to the weekly time frame now, and we look at GJ on the weekly, right, it has massive rejection here, massive wick rejection. We're wicking off again, and the sentiment is starting to shift back towards the other direction. So now when we get GJ like to break these 1 week lows, these weekly lows here, these pullbacks here are going to make a lot of sense because we're failing to hold above these weekly levels, right? We just got to remember though, a new monthly candle, we're only 3 days in. So we're very bullish. Higher time frame, lower time frame. This monthly candle closed above these highs. So that's something to be mindful of. It's choppy here. It's going to be kind of confusing, but I mean, it's actually pretty simple. What I do is just come in and find like 4-hour zones that are clean zones, right? Coming into this morning, yeah, this looks messy, but coming into this morning, I knew I would have buys above this resistance here to fill this clean range, and my second target would be to fill that clean range, because if we go and look on a 1 hour, there's a resistance right here. My sells were going to be to sell into this clean range, which it already did. My second target is to fill this wick right here, and my third and fourth for a runner would be like to fill this clean range and this clean range. So I just take clean 4-hour ranges, I go down to the 1 hour, I make it make sense, and then I just trade them based on like 15-minute breaks and things like that. But the reason today I couldn't get it was, again, because the 1 hour candle opened with no top wick. So it just opened and immediately shot down. And that I'm not comfortable with because I don't know where the low is going to end. And it could have just barely like probed these lows and then just shot up and created its top wick. Because when this thing drops like this, what's probably going to happen, we'll see here though, is that we had these like yesterday, during London yesterday, we created this like double bottom here. Price took it out. We've just been creating nice support levels. So that might be what's happening here. And honestly, GJ buys might come later in the session, like 25 pips to fill this range. Because when this thing creates its 1 hour wick, it's going to break this resistance right here. And it's going to fill this 1 hour range as well, the smaller one. So we'll see what happens with it. Higher time frame though on the 4 hour, like it has its wick to the upside. So it could make deeper retracements. We never know where this thing's going to turn around at, right? We just play the clean ranges, play the breaks on them, and trade it like that. Don't really try to anticipate moves, because like earlier when I said I wanted to sell GJ in here, right? This morning, we were watching GJ. When it broke, looking for it to break the support, have to wait, right? So when I was looking for this support to break, it had just bounced and rallied off of there. Anticipation is really what kills people. Like when they anticipate the break happening, they enter too early because they're emotional and like try to think that they're right about the market. So a lot of people would have just sold it off of, oh, I think it's going to, and then immediately got stopped out or got scared and then flipped long and then it broke down, then they sell again and then they're in drawdown. It's like these people are everywhere. So just have to keep it like the same thing literally every single day. Just simple, literally simple 4-hour ranges, breaks of them, and just fill the range. Let's see what happened with gold. So gold did hit the last target. So overall, not bad. I mean, that was a 100 pip drop from there. Literally all sent to the group like earlier this morning. Here was the gold sell range. The idea was that gold is chopped to the upside. The buys were not clear. So that's why I like the sells. Yeah, we're going to end up melting. So look at this on the daily. Like when we break this daily wick, oh my God. I actually didn't expect this to happen today. But then again, you have to watch your higher time frames because look at gold on the weekly, right? Massive wick to the upside. This gold might even drop today all the way back down to this. So we're running into this wick right here on the weekly 1704. That's going to probably get hit here within like, maybe just a few seconds. It already got pretty close, but once that breaks, it's clear range on the weekly to fall like 1680. Once that daily low breaks, it's like this thing's going to melt. Let's just watch and see. Let's see what happens. That daily low breaks. Oh my God, this thing's going to go. First stop on the daily. Let's see. 1692 area, 1694, somewhere in here. We'll see if it ends up breaking out. Again, like my moves today happened without me. Now I'm just kind of calling the market just to see what happens, but I'm not too interested in anything, to be honest with you. Once I miss my moves like that or they happen without me, I just leave it alone. Not a big deal. We'll see what happens. If gold breaks that daily low, this thing is gone. Let's see, we might be like just building a lower time frame support. Yeah. So the 5 minute, it's just building a little support. If we go on the 1 minute, probably a little support being built just right off of this low. Man, if this low actually breaks, this daily range over here is going to end up getting filled. Quite honestly, I know I put it here on a 4-hour, but or on the daily down there, this little resistance right here, 1698, that would be the first stop. See what happens with it. If this low breaks. So yeah, GJ's just doing its thing. Target was hit there as well. That sentiment is so fire when I'm watching that. And I know when things are even back out, this has dropped from over 70% since we were catching the buys. So the sellers are leveraging out at the wrong time because now that correction is like likely to happen, which it is. So those sellers are wrong. They're wrong. They were wrong in the beginning and they're wrong now for getting out. As well as the gold buyers, like 70% gold buyers, everybody's getting washed out, right? You got to pay attention. Like too many people come over here and try this cute stuff, like to find over here, like things that are going on and try to like guess off of old price action, which that's fine. But you need to as well watch the current price action. And the current price action is just bearish momentum heading into this, as well as GJ, right? Heading into this session with bearish momentum. So if the current price is bearish, you can't fight it, It's like, I explain it like trying to catch a falling knife is what it's like. Stupid idea. Did anyone FOMO trade gold or GJ and actually catch those trades? Did anyone actually trade it in here at all or no? I didn't. They didn't give me my exact setup. I know how some people are though. They put some analysis with theirs and they'll trade it. Anyone do that at all or no? Probably come in here tomorrow then, since we missed these freaking moves today. That's so annoying. I was super tired getting up this morning too. Just to miss my moves. It's hilarious. See, but now that I missed them, I'm not just sitting here clicking away at buttons, trading, going to find other, pairs that I'm not trading right now to trade. I'm not doing any of that. But I'll tell you this is that when GU breaks this, let's go look at the dollar. The dollar should be shooting up right now. Yeah, it is. So the dollar is probably going to end up filling up in this range. When GU as well breaks this 4-hour low, this thing's going to fill this 4-hour range. GU as well has bearish momentum, nice clean range to fill. Honestly, we could probably catch GU today. We could probably catch this. Look on the lower time frame on the 5-minute. These nice highs here. So you got all these like highs here. Price spiked it in here, just creating lower highs. If GU breaks the downside in confluence with the dollar rallying up, we can catch that GU trade for sure. Just sit here and wait. So it looks like GJ is going to come up now, like I said, and create that top wick on that 1-hour candle. Wow, what a nice move though on both of those. It's insane. Literally, gold's breakout was 130 pips. That is insane. All off a 1-minute entry. GJ was nice. Hit its target. Dropped a little more. Let's check silver today. Wow, silver melted. Yeah, if silver breaks down on the weekly again, back underneath this weekly wick, it's going to come back down to like 24.80 as well. Which I'm huge on long-term silver. We're creating a lot of resistance on the monthly here, but need some kind of policy with Biden, some money printing, things like that to really keep pushing the price. So let's see, let's go look at GU. Now, GU is going to be a bit riskier here. This was like a pre-London fake out right here. What I'm going to do with GU most likely, because the dollar is pretty bullish here at this point, pushing up and back into this range. What I'm going to do, which explains the gold sell-off as well. What I'm going to do with GU then is I'm going to give it a little bit of time here today and see if we can't break underneath this support and anticipate that the volume is going to push price past this little support here and fill back down into this range. So we just got to let price set up, right? I don't want it to do anything too crazy. Like I don't want crazy pullbacks. If we break out like that, that's going to be it for me today. But I just want to see price getting just slowly pinched into the support, and then we'll play the sells on it. So there's a few other people coming in. So we had this morning, right? I'm going to re-explain the GJ sell idea in gold. this morning, and so I dropped this to like the filthy group, to the free no risk group, and then we have like the paid group as well. But I dropped this to the group this morning. Gold sells in this 4-hour range, right? And that when the 15-minute lows break, that's where I would look to sell. The gold was chopped to the upside, so the buys were just too messy to find a clean range. And then GJ, I dropped the rejections on GJ and talked about how I wanted to sell. The break of the lows is where I wanted to sell, but right when we opened on the 7 o'clock candle, this 1-hour candle opened with no top wick. So had it pushed up to create a top wick and then broke the lows, that's where I would have sold. But because there's no top wick, I don't know where that candle's going to turn around to then go create a top wick. So it's not smart for me to take the sell. So I just sat on my hands. But, ultimately my target was hit to fill the clean range. If you go look on the 4-hour, there was a nice resistance sitting here for the first target. And then to fill this 4-hour candle was the second target, right? So that's the idea that I had there with GJ and why I wanted to sell it. And gold as well, right? On the 4-hour, gold had a nice clean wick here to sell into, a nice clean 4-hour candle here, and then back down to these 4-hour lows made sense as well. But gold as well, it just, while I was opening the Zoom, it just shot straight down and just broke out and ran. So, it is what it is. I don't chase it. I just left it alone. Didn't enter nothing. Looks like GU is rejecting that support as well. And it looks like the dollar is like on the 4-hour, it's bullish here. We created these lows here, took out these like double bottoms here with this move. We're creating a support here to move higher. So that would run in confluence with GU's sells here. And GU, I like the sells here, right? Because we kind of just come up, took out these highs here, close back within the range. We have this clean 4-hour range here that's important. So I like that range. That range is nice. But I mean, if this thing starts to break out and jacking around, like I'm not gonna take the trade. What I like is the bearish like structure here. So I wanted to respect all of this and then just maybe push up and then just drop. Once we make that break below this is where I want to sell it. Let's check the sentiment on GU, right? So we're 55% sellers. So just like GJ, right? GJ 2 weeks ago and last week was heavy on the 70% side selling. Now it's only at 60. And just 2 days ago, this thing was at 63%. So it's dropped even more. People were selling, right? GJ like over here. They were selling GJ over here. 70% sellers were in here, just getting absolutely destroyed. We were buying it. Now they're all leveraging out. And this thing might, we were in on the sell ideas today. And now all those sellers were out, GU is like mixed 55%. So it's not crazy on one side or the other. I don't even really trade GU that much though. It's like Bitcoin broke out. Just looking at the S&P. Slow, slow, slow. Patience. Let me do something more. Let's see here. Let's see what kind of stimulus news there is. Stimulus checks should continue until COVID is history. You know, this is one thing that Biden ran on, though. This guy is an absolute idiot for real. I mean, every politician's an idiot, but it's unreal. People actually feed into this and think like these politicians run on emotions. They tell everyone what they want to hear. They make the whole world go all crazy on Facebook on each other and stuff. They're all idiots. They do not care about you or your family, none of them. Biden ran on this and that and the other. The best thing he had was, airstrikes in Syria. That's it. Not worried about the American people, stimulus, this and that. One thing that I did enjoy about Trump was the tweets. The market moved so well every time he talked. So that was one good thing, like about the Trump administration was just constant. They were constantly stirring something up. So there was always like the market was moving so much. Gold had insane moves when Trump was in, like to the upside. It was crazy. The volatility in the markets were nuts. That was fun. Now it's like been chopped and rangy and kind of boring. So GJ created its wick to the upside, right? You guys see that? Hourly in the 15. They all created their wicks to the upside. So, but everything this guy ran on, nothing's getting done. Literally nothing. I mean, they're more worried about 10-year-olds being able to get some kind of gender changes, and these things are thousands of pages within the stimulus they're submitting, and only 7% has anything to do with COVID. The rest is Congress asking for raises and these sending money to other countries so they can pay for their gender changes and stuff. It's like, what in the world are we doing? And here's the thing: if they have that much money to send to other countries, then they're taxing everybody in America way too much. We need to worry about ourselves before we worry about other people. That's just the cold-hearted truth. I don't care how in trouble other people are. We have our own issues of our own here. Ridiculous. Honestly, I just cannot stand politicians at all. Their way of thinking is it's not logical at all. Actually, a bunch of idiots in there. Every one of them. You think about it though, like why do you make any decision daily you do? It's for self-benefit for the most part. Why are they making any decisions they are? It's all for self-benefit. These guys were more worried about impeaching a former president than American people, like helping out small businesses, things like that. It's actually pretty stupid. And people actually fed into all the nonsense everywhere. Everyone did. I was looking at something the other day, like Biden's inauguration speech had so many dislikes on the video. It's unreal. I knew nothing would get done. It's just stupid. This stimulus, like this should have been done first week in office, first month. So I don't even know. I don't even know what to think. But now we go back to gold, right? I was just explaining this to someone last night. They were asking about gold and why it was falling, but you have to ask yourself, why was gold going up? From March during the COVID crash up until we had rate cuts on the interest on interest rates. Like we had the rate cuts. What is going on here? Yeah, the interest rates though, right? The rate cuts, and then we had in 2019 we had the Soleimani airstrikes that started this whole mess, and then we had COVID, right when gold was peaking, right? The March sell off. If you go look at everything across the board, like the only thing that survived, right, was the dollar. It spiked, right, because people were in times of like economic stress. People put their money in cash, not assets they don't need. So that's why things like the March crash, yeah, the S&P, silver, gold, things like that people don't need. That's why it crashed. But then why did it go up, right? Gold was going up because of money printing and this and that, and stress on the economy. And now we're not getting any of that. There's nothing that happened here is happening here. So big corrective move. Fundamentally, things are changing for gold, so that's why it's not doing anything that we expect it to do, right? So GU is still, we're creating this bear structure here right now. That's what we're waiting on. A break of a 15-minute candle outside of this. I'm going to anticipate that this 4-hour candle opens right at 4 a.m. or not 4 a.m., 8 a.m. And what I'm anticipating is that the next 4-hour candle, like, it's going to end up retracing a bit and then breaking these lows and running back down into this 4-hour low. So we just got to be patient. It might happen before then. Dollar's still running bullish here. So GU as well, like, let's see here. GU had a lot of sellers in it a few weeks ago too, but now it's only 55%. So it's going back to like 50-50 after it's making its corrective move. So these people leverage in when they're running against it, and then when it actually makes its move, they just get out like before it even does. Makes no sense. That's why we had the gold sells as well today. Like, go look at the sentiment on gold. It's heavy 70% buyers. So 70% buyers on gold. That's why we had the sell ideas. And then GJ as well has been primarily, it has been on the like 70-ish% seller side. But, since that was going up into this move, and since this has been grinding back up, the sellers have really, got out of this thing. It's only 60% now. Now we just play the waiting game. If GU like starts breaking out though, it's something I won't be interested in. We'll see what happens with the 4-hour, this new 4-hour open. And it's funny, like, I play during this a lot of breakout trades. So as to where a lot of people will be buying, right? I'm normally like just in the complete opposite. Because a lot of people will see this and think, oh, support, it's time to buy. It's like that's not the case. What I try to do is like, just like GJ sells this morning, right? What I try to do is find some structure going into a support to break and fill the bigger 4-hour range. So, there was nice bear structure coming into this. And yeah, this thing just melted off as well as gold, right? You go back and look at gold on the sell idea today, like overall, right? We had some nice structure for sells coming into this morning. So the momentum to the downside, that all made sense. If gold does, like, if gold is making a retracement here and this is lower high and we bust this daily low, I'm telling you, gold's going to end up probably ripping. That break of that daily low is probably going to send gold like 1,700. That's another 100 pip range just about. We'll have to see though. It looks like this 4-hour candle as well has no top wick. So like pre-New York, this could have been massive sell-off. Let me check my broker to see if it has a top wick on the 4-hour. All right, I have a top wick on the 4-hour. So yeah, this move down would be healthy. We'll keep our eye on it as well. So it looks like GU is just still keeping that bear structure. Looks nice. And the way I like to think of this as well is like you skip a rock across the water. It eventually falls through the water, right? So after something that hits like once, twice, 3, 4, 5, almost, it's eventually going to break through there. And with the proper price action and momentum from like a major session, that's where you get those breaks. GJ was the same way. It kept hitting once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, but the proper structure like broke right through there. Gold, same thing. Gold hit a few times over here, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Anticipate the volume to break, and sure enough, the thing melts. We'll see if GU can give us the same one. Because the dollar should be moving up here, right? So let's look at, there's a resistance here on the 1-hour. If that breaks though, this 1-hour wick will get filled to the upside. Then the next stop is probably back up into this smaller resistance here. So we'll see if we can't lower time frame start to break this on the dollar, because if so, we anticipate that this is going to be a low down here. It took out these lows, built the support, and then on the flip side, GU, took out these highs here, built a high, lower high, breakout, fill the range. So this 15-minute candle closes, right, in 5 minutes, or 1 minute, my fault, 5 seconds. It's looking pretty bearish. So if this next one will shoot up and create a top wick, and this, so created a top wick there and start to drop, we're going to eye up the support here to sell on. Well, when it breaks, I'm going to anticipate that the volume from New York session is pushing the dollar higher, probably gold lower, and GU lower, and that we're going to break this little support right here. And honestly, we can wait for that to break as well. I mean, we can wait for a 15-minute candle to close like right here and just sell the range. Let's see what happens here. But this is why, again, I don't anticipate. Like, I don't enter on the structure or anything when I'm trading like this, because like the anticipation is what kills people. They anticipate it's going to break out, right? So they go ahead and trade it. They don't actually play the breakout. That's where a lot of people go wrong when they're doing this. The anticipation is what kills. They just think, oh, well, it's building the structure and I've seen head and shoulders, so this is going to work. But in all reality, until it actually breaks, you just have to react to what the price is actually doing. What do you want it to do? And then what is it actually doing? The waiting game. So again, this 4-hour candle is going to close here, 14 minutes or so. It's going to close bearish, but I would really like to see this 4-hour candle eventually, like, here's how I would like to see this 4-hour candle close, because if this is rejection here, and this is rejection, and this wick's going to be rejection, what I would like to see is this 4-hour candle close, breaking the supports of these previous candles. So actually, like we would have a zone right here. And what I would like to see is this 4-hour candle break below this zone, right? So the current 4-hour candle close below these supports on these candles, because that's going to break the lows, right? And the next 4-hour open should push up to retrace. Then when it breaks down underneath these wicks, it'll fill that range like perfect. So that's really what I want to see. And again, if this runs without me as well, that's fine. I'm not gonna take FOMO entries or nothing like that. I could care less. There'll be plenty of times when my setups play out just like I want them to. So we'll just be patient here. Just watch how this 4-hour closes. On the 3-hour. I guess the 1-hour would really do the same thing. It would break the lows of all of this, and then the next one would retrace. And when it breaks the low here, that's when it's going to fall. We'll see though. Gotta just be patient. Wait. So the dollar's still trying to break out here, which is good for GU. Whew. Big waiting game. Looks like we're retracing right now a little bit. New 5-minute candle about to start. See, now if we just completely violate the whole idea, like say the dollar just drops off, right? And just starts melting off again, and gold starts to retrace back up, and GU starts to push up, like then the trade idea is just off. You know, it's that simple. I don't want the buy side of this. The sell side looks clean in this range, so that's what I'm anticipating. GU's been pretty like big sell off, so we have 10 minutes for the hourly and the 4 hours to close. This thing's got some pulling back to do in 10 minutes. If we're gonna sell it, I'll tell you that. Man, if this thing plays out perfect though, oh my God, if this 1 hour ends up closing underneath this, that would be so nice. Really like to get a trade today, but not gonna force anything at all. See, a lot of people would just be clicking buttons already. The patience is real. And again, going into New York, like we've got this downward pressure on this support as well. So all of this makes sense. Just as long as the candles close how we want them, we can play this range. And if there's decent momentum on it, then, you know, the next stop's going to be back down into this wick here as well. So we've got about, just about 7 minutes. So Texas and Mississippi both reopened everything. No mask, no mask necessary. All their business is 100% back open. That's perfect. So you could see the DXY is rejecting that level there. We really need price to just continue bullish here, as well as GU to continue pushing down so we can play the breakout. But I mean, we're getting over here now, like 6 minutes left till close. This thing's gonna have to really push down and close under this. Because what we're looking at is that, like, the idea of all of these candles bodies have closed right above the support. So if we can get one to close under it, then the 4-hour candle would likely retrace, then break that and run down. So that's really what we're waiting on. I'm not too interested. The buys, there's a lot of chop up here for the buys. So, like, to play a buy on GU, a clean range isn't till like up here. I'm not doing that. There's nice rejection here. If we break down, cool. If not, I'm going to call it a day today with GJ dropping and gold dropping. GU would just be nice to add to it. Everyone's quiet. You guys just must be watching. So about 5 minutes.
Hey, Jared.
What's up?
Back to what you were saying about the mask and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't go in effect until next Wednesday. And I thought it went into effect yesterday. And some lady at this place I was at was like, put your mask on. And I was like, no, Karen, the mask mandate got lifted. And she like turned her phone around and had like the March 10th thing. And she was like, put your mask on or leave. And I was like, damn, she got me.
I would have just left. I went out to lunch the other day, and there was this place. They were absolute Nazis about it. Like, we walked in, and when we walked in, like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, as soon as we walked through the door, this girl was just hollering, "Put your mask on, blah blah blah." I'm like, dang, we just came in. We don't know we don't know the policy here. And dude, anytime that we had, like, they brought drinks out, so we ordered, water, beer, appetizers, food, like just everything, right? And when she was serving the people behind us and said because they got their drinks and their food that they didn't have to wear their mask. So anytime she would come up to the table, like, before she put anything on the table, we had to put our mask back on because she was there. She gave us our drinks. So then when she gave us our drinks, right, she was serving the people without us, like, behind us, without any mask on. And she blew the candle out on their freaking little thing that they had on their table. And so we were just sitting there without our mask on. And I guess we were giving her a hard time. So she went and got the manager, and he brought the food out. He's like, I'm going to need you guys to put a mask on. And I was like, dude, I'm thoroughly confused. Like, you guys tell us when we got our drinks, we don't need it. The people behind us don't have it. She's blowing their stuff out on their table. Like, which one is it here? This is ridiculous. And one of the people I was with, he just set his stuff down and he was like, that's it. We're leaving. Just got up, told the manager to move out of the way. We just left and went somewhere else. Just absolute Nazis about it. It's like, what difference does it make? I mean, in all reality, everyone's going to get it eventually, right? And if you are scared of getting it, like, don't come out. It's that simple. And if you are overweight and you have heart issues and this and that, don't go out. Go lose the weight, become a healthier person, live a healthier lifestyle, and chances are you will be less likely to get this. I had it twice. Once when I was in the ER getting surgery, apparently. How convenient, right? All these hospitals going bankrupt because they furlough all their employees, and I have it while I'm in there getting surgery. It's just, they do it just so they can make money off of it. It's all just stupid. I'm ready for the whole thing to go. It's honestly just stupid. And so we got 2 minutes. GU's got some retracing to do. We got the new 4-hour candle kicking in. We've held on to this 4-hour support, so I'm not liking that if we're gonna play the breakout on this. So we might not have anything with it at all. We might not get the setup. That's just that though. It's the reality of this game. Sometimes you don't get what you want. Yeah, G is pushing up. So it's not looking like we're going to get the breakout, but let's just see how this next 4-hour opens and where the New York volume takes these trades. Let's see. Man, the S&P is getting destroyed. So here we go. We got 20 seconds. 1-hour candles are going to close. 4-hour candles are going to close. Here's the thing about GU is it's still sitting within all of this chop here and this as well. So I'm not interested in buys on this, just like I wasn't with gold this morning. There's just too much going on. Clean buys would be above this in this 4-hour range, but even by then, I'm not interested. We'll see what happens with this. 1-hour candles close. I mean, we're still respecting the structure here. So we'll see what happens here. GJ up here looks interesting as well, though. After that, we have the sell idea as well. Somebody says we have news. I don't even check news. Let's have a look. We have news. What is today? Wednesday, 9 a.m. Yeah, some things could wait for that. Oh, there was news this morning, 7:15. Wow, we missed it. Imagine that. Bad news for the dollar. They revise it then? This says negative, but February 3rd is showing the actual. I don't know why I keep clicking that. That's taking me off. Am I in the right week here? I'm not even in the right week, am I? No, we're all the way in March. How the heck did I end up out here? I'm gonna say they must have and somebody didn't let me know that I was looking at the wrong thing, huh? Let me make sure we don't miss GU in case this thing does want to give it to us. I wonder how I even got to the time is right here. I wonder how I even got back over here. That's weird. Normally when I click my Forex factory, oh, so I was on it when it opened. Oh, I know what happened. I might have clicked the wrong. I might have clicked the wrong. Yeah, so I see what happened. I clicked on one of the other things and it opened it up. But I was looking at February, so yeah, it is. It makes sense. I'm all confused about what I'm looking at. Telling you what though, this gold, this thing ends up breaking out down here, it's gonna rip. See what happens. Everything is just so slow. We already had two of the moves that we expected this morning. GJ sells, we had gold sells, right? Now we're just playing a waiting game, but here with gold, right? Lots of downward pressure. And if we see this resistance created here and price breaks this daily low, if price starts to break that daily low, we're going to melt off quite a bit. So that's something I'm actually interested in. We're going to watch gold. We have more US news at what was it, 9:30, something like that, hour and a half. I don't even know. I don't look at the news like that. So what I would do on this, right, if I were going to play gold, what I would do on this is I would use smaller lot size than normal because gold can have some brutal swings. These are scalps, these ideas. So like 10, 15 pips in, I would at least secure your partials. And then I would leave a runner for momentum because we are in a major session right now. Yeah, once gold breaks down over here, it's gonna run. I would like to see like a 1 minute time frame just bounce and then break out and just take off. Nothing else is GU still not moving. The dollar's still, it's breaking back down now. So, we knew we would have to break into this range to continue bullish on the dollar, but it's just not breaking out. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, waiting on the news. Price can just be now just consolidating, waiting. You're right, could be a thing. Because now you have to think like pre-New York, right? These things all made massive moves. So now they could just sit in a range waiting for news. But I'm not willing to do that. I like early like volume on trades. I don't like to sit and trade all New York. Like I like those early morning trades. I don't like to sit here and play the waiting game. Screw that. But if GU is making an upside wick on this 4 hour and we start to break low here, might not be bad. So that is something I'll give it a little longer on GU. sometimes trading is just so boring for real. That's honestly how it should be, though. It's a big weight game. Pretty cool. Oh, I got my heating pad on my back today too, on the chair. You guys know how that is. You too, as in you have a heating pad on your back? Oh yeah, yours is boring. Yeah. Yeah, I remember back like whenever I used to get all just hyped up about it and stuff, it was not good. You know, that was a couple of years ago though. I would have just sweaty trading. It's terrible. Never want to do that. Here's what we'll do. This will be our game plan for the GU cells. We'll wait for a 15-minute candle to break the lows here. And when that 15-minute candle closes, we'll put a zone on the 1-minute support that 15 break created. And when that 1-minute support is broken, we can sell GU. Gold coming down as well. Sheesh. Oh, gold's 4-hour. Man, gold's going to be the better trade, I think. When gold's 4-hour starts to break these lows here, this thing's coming 1704, the next stop 1700. If that is something that you guys want to take, go ahead and do it. We'll see when we start to break these lows here. But I mean, that 1 minute out, that hourly candle, leaving that wick to the upside, and that 4-hour, leaving that wick right in this level right here. That's going to be, as long as it doesn't retrace back into that and it continues to break this, that 4-hour break should melt down. So that's why I don't anticipate. I just wait. I wait for that break because I have an idea of what I want it to look like. And if I get in now, you know, it might not do that. So that's why I just don't do it. Just sit there and play the waiting game. It's a lot easier just to wait.
Hey, Derek.
What's up?
What is the significance of like it having a wick to the upside? I think you explained it earlier, right? Like what does it matter if it does or doesn't have a wick?
Okay, so let's say, right, the timing of these candles are so important, right? When we wanted to sell GJ earlier, I mean, everyone was on here. You guys seen it real time. I explained that this morning that we wanted, right? We wanted to GJ was building the bearish structures. We wanted the cells underneath that support, right? That's what we wanted. But the reason that I could not get that sell underneath there was because, like, go and look at every other candle, right? Go and look at every other candle on the chart. I mean, how many have wicks to the downside and the upside? Like 90, 95%, right? Because the candles go up and down. You know, that's how a wick works. So when GJ opened up that candle, we wanted to sell, but there was no top wick. It immediately opened at 7 a.m. and it just shot straight down. So if I know that every candle has a wick, for the most part, 90, 95% has wicks on both sides, and there isn't a wick to the upside, me selling, right, when it breaks the lows is lower probability than me having a wick to the upside as rejection and then price breaking. So go look at GU, right, on the 4-hour. This has a wick to the upside. So we don't have to worry about there not being a wick to the upside when it breaks. Does that make sense? That's why it's significant to me. I sit and I wait for that. Because if there is no wick to the upside and price just starts to drop, it can easily hit a weird support, bounce back up and create that wick. So that's what we did not want. we don't know where the market's going to turn around, right? We can just play high probability ranges, but what if GJ would have came in here and just, ran into this resistance here and created a wick back to the upside? We'd have been screwed on that trade. So that's why it's better. Just sit and wait. There's no reason to get in a big rush and get all antsy about it. The momentum's obvious when it's there, right? We see clear momentum now is kicking in from New York session. And New York Stock Exchange is going to open here in 15 minutes and add some value as well, especially on gold. So it's just a lot easier. You identify those wicks as rejections. You want your candles to have them on both sides. You want to be able to read the market properly. And like if GU were to open right now on the 4-hour and shoot straight down with no wick, I would not be interested in selling underneath this, because there's a probability that the high probability that price could wick a little bit into that zone and then just wick right back out of it and run and create the top wick. Does that make sense at all? So watch, we're going to close this candle in 1 minute. This candle now, we are going to ruin people's days here. Gold wouldn't break out just now. So, you can still play the break of the daily candle here on gold, but GU is doing what we want, right? We're going to close in 50 seconds. If this 15-minute candle breaks below all of this support here, we know that this move pre-London was a fake out to the downside underneath the support. There's been a lot of tests here on this. And if GU can break on the 15-minute and close underneath all of these candles, GU's next 15-minute is going to pull up, create a top wick, and then drop. So that's where we'll catch that at. We just gotta wait on it. Just patience. Look, a lot of people don't have it, right? Like we started out this call like in the teens, and now we're at 9 because people just think like this game is, come in real quick, look at the chart, catch a quick trade. That's stupid. That's not the reality of this. You got to sit and wait. It's a waiting game. If you can't do it, then this isn't for you. So look at the 15-minute close here. So again, notice how we open here. We created a top wick on that 15-minute. Now we're starting to bust through these lows here. So our idea is, coming to life here. Dang, my 15-minute on my broker. Once again, dude, these candles, I have one here. So let me just make sure. I like to be for certain that, yeah, we've got one on multiple brokers. So let's see what happens here. Now, if we get like within a 5-minute closing out of here or 1 minute, I'm gonna manage it tight. I mean, I'm not dealing with any drawdown, right? So screw that. If we break out, I'm willing to take the trade, but I'm not willing to handle drawdown. Drawdown is no fun. So maybe we can get, if it happens before the 5-minute closes out, that's fine. We can take it. So what we'll do here, because we'll see when the time comes. If the entry were to come like right now, if this were to drop in 1 minute entry, I would risk like 1% on this trade. I wouldn't risk a crazy amount. Don't go over leveraging just because we're here and you're all hyped up and blah blah blah. Just control the risk. So we're gonna have minor zones here now, right? So we've got this minor zone up here. We have this minor zone down here. So we just want to watch structure build into these lower time frames, right? So a lot of rejection and prices building. We're gonna end up breaking probably. So just give it time, right? Where our clear momentum right now is to the downside. So we're not fighting it. We're not trying to buy it. We're not being impatient right now. We're just waiting.
I just got kicked off of Zoom.
Oh, good. We're just waiting, brother. Nothing crazy. Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you. Now, right, this hourly's looking nice. 30-minute candle's going to close pretty bearish underneath these supports as well here in 13 minutes or so. Just got to be patient. We're breaking down. We're being patient. Price is breaking down into these levels we want. We're going to see. It looks like the dollar's pushing up. This is nice. This is real nice. Just sit on your hands. Sit on your hands. Be patient. Creating a wick to the upside here. This is nice though, because this buys us a little bit more time as well on like having a 30-minute confirmation as well if it closes back underneath all of this. So I don't mind waiting longer. The longer we wait, the better it is. And look, we might not get this trade at all too. That's also the reality. Is that this thing could just turn around and rip to the upside. And, we waited for our confirmation and we either get it or we don't. It's that simple. But I like how we're creating this wick to the upside right now. I wouldn't even mind if it went a bit deeper than broke down. We'll know when it's time though. This thing's if it sets up for us, great. So again, we have just all of this minor support sitting here. And it's looking like this one's starting to try to close below it. We'll see what this one wants to do. We got a 30-minute candles closing in 10 minutes just about. We'll have a 15-minute candle as well. Oh, waiting. And again, my risk tolerance is tight. So I'm not taking 10, 20 pip drawdown, nothing like that. Once I get my breakout, it's either running in my favor or it isn't. It's as simple as that. For instance, like look at gold on the 1 minute this morning. When that thing broke out, it just ran, no jacking around, no drawdown, nothing like that. Gold's going to break these lows here in a minute too. The dollar's breaking up into that range now. So that's good for this trade idea anyways. Just gotta be patient. But even just being this patient and then not having the trade play out, like feels just as good as having the trade just play out, Bit of like a bummer that you don't get to trade, like catch a trade in the day, but at the same time, like no loss at all. It's just, that's great. Can't really beat that. Man, so you see why I wait for the breakouts. I don't anticipate. This is why so many traders get whiplash and like just get whacked around in the market. You just try to anticipate the move before it even happens and say, oh, it's going to do it. Like, gotta wait for the actual breaks on these things. Be patient. Because just when you think you're right and you anticipate that move, the whole day turns around, everything goes the other direction, right? And when that happens, you got to be able just to cut it off. Say, okay, like just going to be no more trading for me today, right? So, we had the GJ sell ideas here into this range. We had the gold sell ideas into this range. We have the GU sell ideas coming into this range. And either we get it or we don't. It's that simple. But like I won't sit here till noon, 1, 2, 3, like none of that. Latest, like maybe 9:30. So about an hour from now is the latest I'll sit here. And if nothing plays out for me, then I know that after that time, like the volume starts to die down a bit. And yeah, there's random moves, but the best times to catch these trades are like pre-New York into like the first, few hours. And after that, it just gets chopped in range and the volume isn't as clear. So that's why, it either happens or it doesn't. And I trade it or I don't. But I mean, so far going into this 30-minute close, right? We have 5 minutes. We still have like all of the bear structure here that we're looking for. It's just maxed out, created a lower high, lower high, lower high. Could be working on another one here. So that's why we just sit here. We just play it out. We wait. Because if this is going to play out, like look at how hard this thing is just sitting here and all over this support, there's probably a lot of people buying and, they're anticipating the move instead of waiting for a clean range. And look, either you're wrong or you're right. And, they don't know in here. They're just waiting to see if they're wrong or they're right. But, if they are, cool. If not, well, we'll get to hit the stop loss. So just a big waiting game. Big patience. Honestly, I anticipated us to, I didn't anticipate this taking that long, but it's okay. So this 30 minutes going to close here in less than 4 minutes now. What I would really like to see is this 30-minute again. I mean, we are just hanging on to the support. So I'd really like to see that thing close underneath this. Because that 4 hours now like wicking off of all of this as well. That would mean that this 15-minute closes underneath here. How is everyone's trading lately? Anyone's rough? Anyone having any rough trading? Everyone's just Anyone catch any good trades this week then? Any good trades this week? No one? Everyone's quiet, just watching. First day of the week looking at trades. Yeah, not bad. Take your time. Man, we've had some fire trade ideas though in our New York sessions. Some fire trades. So we closed 30-minute in less than 2 minutes. So I would again like to see this 15-minute close underneath the support. I mean, it's closing, neutral, but this 30-minute closing under here. If we're going to catch this sell, I really want to see some more like pressure into this. We're just failing to do so over and over. That's why you got to be patient. We'll notice when it gives if it does. If it gives, it's going to close in here. Next one, retrace, we're going to get a breakout. So we got less than a minute left. Man, we don't catch this. I don't think I have a lot going on today, actually. Might catch me a nap again. I've been just getting home from the gym kind of late. Then by the time I take care of everything, and actually get to sleep, it's terrible. It's like midnight. By the way, there's this fire interview I was listening to. Chamath is one of my favorite billionaires to listen to. And he is so smart about investing and trading and stuff. He owns some kind of fund, but I'm going to I'm going to drop it in this chat for you guys to listen to. It's a fire interview. It's a lot about his just psychology and things. Just interesting. So, 30 minutes still closed pretty bearish, right? Underneath these wicks and stuff. I would really like to see it more underneath this, but it's not bad. We might just be waiting to digest news. And if that's the case, again, I'm not sticking around for that. Could care less about the news. I'm not trading news. Waiting game. Man, this support here on GU is nasty. Just holding on to it. See what I mean? This is why we just be patient and wait. What we're not doing is getting stuck in a range and getting whiplash and getting this and that. And if you're wondering why, I'm trying to wait on the sell idea, because the buys, there's too much going on in here. I guess maybe you can anticipate that if these highs were broken, that price is going to continue filling up with momentum into this range up here. But even then, you've got a small resistance right here. It's just, there's way too much chop going on here. You got these, maybe you're looking to play the break of this wick here, right? and run it up to fill the 4-hour wick. That range isn't bad there. It's a little more clean, 12 pips or so. Could make sense. But it's just overall, it's chopped. It's just chopped to the upside. Dang, nothing's happening. See now, that buy idea I explained on GJ earlier, that thing might come up. Gold still didn't break its low. See, you guys ever like enter a trade and just sit in the consolidation or sit in the trade for hours and hours just to like find out, 15 hours later that you lost the trade? It's because of things like this, right? We don't know where, again, if GU is going to break up in this range to catch the buy, or if GU is going to break down here to catch the sell. I have a bias that I would rather catch this range, but I don't anticipate it because I don't want to sit here in this range and go, oh, I'm in profit, oh, I'm in drawdown, oh, I'm in profit, oh, I'm in drawdown, just for it to shoot up and me to get stopped out. Like, I don't feel like playing that game. So I'm not going to play it. See what the dollar's doing here. Let's go see what the pound is doing. We'll hold the support here.
Hey, Jenner.
What's up?
You remember when back in like March or April, whenever no race first started, and you were teaching like the Heikenhashi price traps?
Yeah.
And you would wait on the breakout of them. Is that kind of what you're doing here?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, it's pretty much the same thing.
I remember you had a bunch of bangers.
Yeah, they were pretty nice. DXY is just catching some rejection off of that level we talked about. Nothing would break out. So, the dollar though, which I think, we've seen on the Forex Factory how the dollar had bad news. So maybe price is going to sit and wait to digest 9 a.m. news and then make moves. So 9 a.m., 9:30, like for me, if something doesn't move here, I'll be done before 9 here within, another 20 minutes or so. So look at GJ shooting up to go play in that range a bit. GU's coming up too. So the waiting game, possibly all for nothing. But we didn't take a loss. So that's also pretty good. See, now look at GJ here from the sell idea this morning. It just created that low support. Probably going to break and fill 149.850. If we break out of this, momentum's going to carry it. Oh, yep. That might be that's probably gonna be it for me, guys. Nothing's moving. We got the news at 9. We got the news at 9:30. You guys know normally we catch some by now. I mean, we did have the ideas, gold sells, GJ sells. Both were successful, but just seems like the market isn't going to move now for either. I was anticipating that maybe the gold was going to break and fill its daily range, but doesn't look like we're just stuck in a range here, and GU's, jacking around. So nothing is doing what we want it to do. Pretty boring morning, honestly. Oh, okay. This guy I follow on Instagram, Ross Edgley. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He swam around Great Britain one time, like around the whole thing. That is insane. This guy's an animal. Got stung by a bunch of jellyfish and stuff while he was doing it. Got salt tongue from being in the salt water. What that is where like the salt like deteriorates the tongue in the back of your neck after you're in there for too long, and your tongue will literally like start falling into like no joke pieces. It's really weird. The guy's an absolute freak for real. Man, things look like they're setting up for this news. They're priced in right now. Look at all this rejection on gold. This thing wants to come down today, I think. Fill this range. Gotta be patient. I think that guy swam for let me see how many days he swam for. So he had ultra marathon sea swimmer. And he swam 1,780 miles around Great Britain, completed it in 157 days. Can you imagine that? So Red Bull documented the whole thing. There's a bunch of documentaries on YouTube about it. Like they did like a bunch of different episodes every week, and I watched it, and it's just insane. Like literally every single day for I think it was. I forget how he split it up. He split it up into increments, though. It was insane.
Did you say 157 days?
Yeah. I think he split it up into like 6 hours or something, where he would like swim 6, sleep 6, swim 6, sleep. or he split it like half and half, like 12 and 12 or something. Forget how he did it, but like they had to figure out like the tides and the currents and things so he could swim with, have a little help with the water. It's just insane. You should have seen his tongue. It was literally like crumbling from the salt. It's crazy while he was eating. The dude was whooped after that. It's nuts for real. He does all kinds of crazy stuff. He like did something else where he swam with like 100-pound tree trunk on roped on his back or something like that. I don't even know. Let me see if I can figure it out. Or he ran with it or something. I don't remember what it was. I was gonna say the swimming sounded a bit. Oh, I think he actually did do it. So he completed a triathlon carrying a tree. It was 100 pounds. Wow. That is insane. Some people can do just some amazing things, seriously. Man, I'm telling you, this stuff is looking like it's pricing in these sells. Gold's just sitting in this range. GU though. I mean, they opened up again with no top wicks. It's been happening all day. So it looks like this candle's going to wick off of the support as well. We haven't had any significant closure under this. So kind of interested just to see how these things do digest the news. New York Stock Exchange opened at 8:30, just 15 minutes ago. So someone says, good US news. Where do you see that at? Am I tripping or did someone just message in there and say good US news? Can you delete messages? Could have sworn I just saw someone say good US news. Oh, you know what? For some reason, it's not popping up on my computer, but it's popping up on my phone. Oh, I see why. I'm on two different ones. Never mind. Medium impact news. See, oh, you're talking about medium impact news. There was only medium impact news here. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, if you go to like, if you turn the news on in here as well, you could, I forget how to do it. Yeah, my FX book has it as well. You're right. I don't care about any of this. See, the 15-minute again here did not create a wick to the upside. $30-minute looks like it wants to melt though. Man, we might have to actually stay on here and catch this. Let's watch how these hourly close. I'm gonna give it a little more time. So trading around like news like this too, you really got to control your size. Lower lots than normal. Control the risk, ready to cut it off. Have your stop loss typed in before you enter type of deals. Don't go in there acting all crazy if you trade during it. You know, there's a good chance we're just not going to get anything today. We're just dug in to this range. Yeah, if this 30-minute closes underneath here, like we've been waiting on, this 30-minute closed pretty bearish. If this one leaves this wick up here and closes underneath this thing's gonna be, we can play the break, but that's gonna happen at 9 o'clock. So we're gonna have to be very, you know, the thing is, this isn't high impact news, so it's not like we're on gold and this thing's gonna rip up like, you know, some kind of crazy number. We're not gonna have to worry about that, I don't think. We'll see here though. This news is gonna come out in about 9 minutes. So what I'll do for this news is, again, it's not high impact. It's just medium. So it's not like it's going to throw this market whiplash. We should just be able to trade with the market structure that's already been, you know, that's already been created. So if we close bearish underneath this, you know, that's going to add to the confluence of sells here. And the US dollar's got just strength coming into this as well. So we will see. We will see what happens here, people. We will see. We'll break this down. What we'll have to do though, if it starts moving like on the new hourly, like say it shoots up and starts coming down, we'll just play the impulse break over here, like a 1 minute close out of this and then sell it. But we're pulling back up again. This thing does not want to break out. We still got a minute though for the hourly close. I might have to invest in a stand-up desk. I don't think I can do this sitting stuff much longer.
Tanner, what kind of bird do you have?
I have a cockatoo, an umbrella cockatoo. And I have 3 Great Danes as well.
That cockatoo thing is funny. The thing's cool.
Yeah, he is pretty cool. He was acting out yesterday. You see my Instagram story? I posted him on there. He's like arguing with me all day. Like every time I just told him like just be quiet for a while, he would just literally argue like a kid. It's unreal.
When he started barking, that was crazy. I was like, it sounded just like a dog.
Yeah, he'll growl and bark. He can say like hello, hey boy, hello boy, hi Bubba. He can cough. He can what else can he do? He can like sneeze if he hears someone blowing their nose. Hold up a minute. So we got this 30-minute close in about 5 minutes, but yeah, he can do some pretty cool stuff. I'm trying to think of what else. He's potty trained as well, so he can, if I just wherever I tell him to poop at, like he'll just go poop. I'll say go poop and he'll say go poop back, and then he'll use the bathroom. So most of the time, like try to put him out a window so he could go outside. It's pretty funny. Trying to think of what else he can do.
Does he ever try to like bite you or anything?
Yeah, I mean, when you like the way those birds work is like the closer they're super scheduled, and the closer they get to their bedtime, the more like energetic they get. It's like their last splurge of energy before they go to bed, and you don't want him up on your shoulder during that time because he gets crazy. He can bite like when he's up there, so you don't want him up there. He just feels like superior and like he can do what he wants. They get yeah, his wings are clipped for sure. You don't want him to fly away. If you were to fly away, like he's not going to be able to survive out in the wild. But those birds, they love humans. They love interacting with humans. They love like attention, like a puppy or literally like a child is the way I put it. They love attention. They find a human and just cling to it. It's pretty interesting.
How much does like a bird like that cost? Like, and where can you get a bird like that?
They cost about $3,000. You can get them from like a breeder. You know, you go get them from breeders. Just look it up on the internet.
You don't have to get like a license, because I was looking at getting a monkey one time, and you had to get like a license to have it. So,
yeah, no license for a cockatoo. I'm sure there is some birds that you would probably have to get one for, but you know, you don't need a license for anything with these. Just get the bird and take it home. What's crazy though is they age like a human. So like I got him from someone. He's 20 years old, so he'll live with me for the rest of his life. Like he'll likely outlive me. So you have to be prepared, lifetime commitment to a freaking bird. That's what quarantine does to you. You just, get all fidgety and weird about stuff and go get a bird. So we got a minute and a half for the close. 30 minutes closing pretty nice. Look, we're building some nice structure here. If the news shoots up, that's fine. Like we don't have to worry about it. But right now, again, we've got a support built on the dollar here as well. We're building a resistance on GU. So, I mean, everything's going as planned. It looks like this trade's just going to take a little longer to play out today, which that's fine. And if it doesn't, then we just practice good patience and everything else. So Now this 30-minute, right? This 30-minute, look at how all these candles are formed. Like they all respected, like the high was respected, the high was respected, the high was respected, right? And this one broke these lows, broke this one's low, just about broke this one's. This one's going to close below all of them. So this is where this gets tricky, right? So now we're closing like deep in here. This is good. This is really good because this hourly is going to close brutal. Look at that hour close below all of this support. So the next one should open, pull up, and then shoot down. And when we break the lows here, we should be clear to sell it. And again, we're gonna have the risk tight. Like I'm not jacking around with any drawdown. If it runs against me, I've played enough waiting game today that I'll cut my loss like a few pips. I'll close 50%, like 4 pips in drawdown or whatever. I didn't wait all this time just to have a big loss today. That's not how I do this. So we're gonna break this level here probably. So new hour open, we pulled up, we created a top wick. So now what I'm thinking is that we're going to, let me refresh just to check the confluence with news. I don't think it's out yet. It's just still loading. So we're pushing up right now. Let's see. Yeah, my news isn't so bad news for the dollar. But I mean, it is medium impact, right? We'll see what happens here. I don't really even pay attention to news ever, so I don't even know why I'm looking at it now. I never look at it. I don't really care. I say I never do, like just understand the timing of the market too, that sometimes like I'll look just to see if there is high impact, because if not, or if there is, like the market will wait to price in news as well. It'll wait to price in news, so, or to react. But it looks like, you know, GU are creating that top wick on the dollar. So again, you know, we just have that spiked high here, and a low, a low, a low, and you know, low, low here. So lower highs trickling down. So that 1 hour volume, then if we're gonna break down, we'll carry this 4 hour to fill this range. Like, you know, that would make sense. Man, oh man, this is a waiting game today. So like I said earlier, like I'll give things sometimes to like 9:30ish, but I won't, you know, I don't go all day trading at all. I try to give it a little bit of time just because the New York Stock Exchange opens at, you know, 30 minutes or an hour before. Yeah, 9:30. So gives it a little time for those late day moves to happen, or late morning moves. We are just not budging out of here though, really. I would like to see this really happen now that we're breaking down like relatively quick. Because think about if you were in buys here, right? Like how fast does your stop loss get hit when you trade against something like this, and you realize the structure is like built against you and you're too stubborn to get out? Like it normally happens so fast. I just try to think of like how I used to trade, and like, you know, how I try to think about how I used to trade and how what I would be doing at this time, like years ago. And normally I would like see a big push up and whatever. Like right now I'd be in buys with no confirmation other than we're at a support. watch a 5-minute close here. Man, things are looking just so bearish here. It's just trickling down slow. See, but things are going to be digesting like news and other things as well. So, this thing could easily, again, this is why we're just patiently wait. Because if it does do the opposite of what we wanted, like me having that much patience just makes it better anyways. I'm fine with missing it. Man, what do you guys think about this patience? It's insane, isn't it? Just literally sitting here waiting on this. It's ridiculous. Man, when gold busts these lows, though, look at this rejection. Let's wait and see if it does break out. Man, look at how bearish that's looking. Oh, gold's gonna melt here. If this thing breaks this thing, oh my God, it's gone. Sitting right on this 1-minute support here. Once those daily lows, like look at the 4-hour candle, it's retracing a bit, but it looks just so bearish. Once that low gets broken right there, that daily low, man, that thing is gonna shot all the way back up. We'll see. We'll see if we can catch the break there. Yeah, exactly. All the impatient people that have just couldn't wait it out this morning and just wait for the correct move, they're in and they're wanting it to go their direction, but it's probably not going to. And when they do get hit by it, it's just they're gonna get absolutely screwed. So that's why it's just way better to wait, Exactly. Yeah, it's just good. You just feel better, especially when you wait all day, like not all day, but when you wait all morning, even if I don't catch a trade, like me just waiting like this feels just as good getting off as catching 100 pips, right? Feels pretty good. Just being patient and waiting. Because this is something I couldn't do like 3 or 4 years ago. Like I didn't have the patience like this. But in all reality, where has this gone? What kind of trade could you have taken, right? Like this hasn't went anywhere. There's no volume in this range. So it's like, it's just stupid to anticipate. Again, I went back at the end of 2020 and I reviewed my trades and asked myself, like, what killed me this year? what were my losses and how were my winners? Well, my winners had value, my losses didn't. So, and the anticipation during low volume of a breakout is what killed me. Me entering in this range for a buy or sell is what killed me. That's what, and I say killed me, but that was the worst part of my trading, was the low volume trades and the impatience on some. And again, we went nowhere all morning. Look at gold. We went nowhere besides our pre-New York sell ideas. DJ, same thing, just big old range. I haven't waited this long for a trade in a long time. Might be a good or a bad thing, who knows? Dollar's breaking back down. I think the hourly on the dollar opened up with no top wick. Looks like it. And so 15-minute close coming in 10 minutes now. Imagine if this 15-minute here closes below the support. That is where I originally wanted to sell, but notice the volume right now is really low, right? We don't have good volume. We know that because we've been able to identify it by the way we're stuck in this range. But, if this closes underneath this, I anticipate the volume will then break this low and fill this range. Because look, we're trading with the momentum here, right? We're not going against it. So we're going to be prepared here for when EU comes down. And look at the 4 hour, man, that looks hot. That looks spicy. All right, I'm going to take a sell here. I'm going to let this 1 minute close out, and then I'm going to, if this 1 minute can close out here, I'm going to take this sell. Because it looks like some volume is kicking in here. So right now we're wicking off of this. So if this 1 minute starts to break this one low as well, I will take that sell. And if it starts to break back up into the range, I will close it and wait, right? So we'll see what happens here. Wow. Yeah, this sell is setting up for sure. We'll see what happens here. We're going to have, if this 1 minute low gets broken, I want in. And if this 15-minute candle we can hold out for it to break the support, the next one's going to pull up, create a top wick. When we break that bottom one's low, the volume's going to carry this trade. Yeah, I'm going to get ready to get in this. And again, I'm tight on this. I'm no tolerance withdrawal down. I do not want it. I don't like it. Just mapping out a couple zones here for us. Okay. Once we break this low, I'm going to get in on GU. Ooh, the patience here today. All right, here we go. Let's watch this thing. Ooh. So now, let's see, we got about 10 pips down in here. So now if this thing is going to break out, every candle is just going to trickle on down, right? If we suck back up in, we play around, like, I'm not doing all that, right? I mean, I want my range to come down and start getting filled in here. I want my 10 pips. So this candle, again, I don't want too much jacking around. We're going to manage this really tight. Ooh, close some partials out. Here we go. All right, since I waited and was patient today, I think this will continue down, but I took the trade off the low of that once it gets down, like down here. Not a bad idea to scale out of a little bit. These are just quick scalps in the ranges, but you can leave a runner. You can leave a runner on there. Yeah, I'm definitely took some off. There's no way I waited all day to get greedy here. Not at all. This should continue down because now, like, this broke out. Now we created a low here. We respected the high of this candle. This one might pull back a bit, but it should continue. But this is why I'm not getting greedy here. Not at all. There's no way I'm getting greedy. I still think we can come fill this range. But that's why I just leave a bit of a runner on. And if you're getting greedy right now, that's on you, not on me. So now, like, when you're looking at it like this, you have a support here that prices form. So really you want this 1 minute just to come and break this for it to continue if you have a runner. And this should continue, right? We're clear breakout, clear momentum. The 15-minute broke out as well. The 15-minute close was nice. The other one retraced. Now we should continue down into this range, but that's why I pulled some off. I'm not getting greedy here. You know, so this was close to about 9 pips on this drop. I really think that I'm going to be surprised if this thing does not continue coming down. I mean, this 1 minute has no bottom wick as well. So maybe it's going to top out right here and then it's going to break this low. And then we should continue to fill this range here. Okay, so this closes in 15 seconds. So we really want this candle to break the lows of these and keep trading down. So broke the lows here underneath this right here. Just really should just keep dropping. Come on. But now is your time. If you haven't pulled anything, like, yeah, I would have. Like I've said it a couple times, because this thing could pull all the way back up. Oh, that 1 minute wick's looking good. So breakout of here again. See, this is how I manage it, because it shouldn't just, if on the 1 minute, it should just keep trending as well, just like a normal trend. Lower lows, lower highs. There she goes. Oh, if you have not secured, really secure some. If you have not secured, really secure it. We're not looking for a million pips here. These are just scalps within the ranges. You can leave a runner though. You can leave a runner to fill the range. So now, like if you have a runner, you just put it like a pip in profit and then just leave the runner. And whatever happens, happens. Because if it does, momentum does keep carrying it down, like that's good. It'll do it. If not, and the momentum isn't there, then you're not stressing. So about a 12 pip drop, not bad. Not bad at all. We'll see so far. Oh, there she goes. Dropping some more. All right, so you definitely wouldn't want anything to break back above that. And you've got a little 1 minute support here. Price is breaking that. So just want it to keep going. Yo, I feel sorry for the people who didn't stay on. That is how it's done. Just excellent pages. Really. Did you who caught that? Who caught that? Anyone? Did anyone even take it after all that time of waiting? I know I didn't wait for no reason. Wow, Nancy's the only one who caught it with me. Let's go. You're never sleeping. You're always here. Always taking the trades. No one else. No one else. But no one else caught this. No one else took it. All that waiting, and you guys ain't. You guys didn't execute. Wow. Oh, stop sharing there. Yes. See what the dollar's doing from like down a bit. Gold's ranging, probably waiting to digest more news. Man, That's fire. Yo, I literally can't make this stuff up anymore. I can't make it up. Nice drop here. 13 pips for the first drop, and it might be rolling back over to fill the whole range. Yeah, so I think I took majority off at like 8 pips or so. But when I'm, my stop when I'm doing this is like in my head when stuff breaks back above where I don't want it, I close it like, 3, 4 pips. So it's just easy scalping within the ranges. It's not, sometimes you get runners that kick in that'll just absolutely rip, like gold, the idea for the sell this morning, right off of that idea on a 1 minute, that thing just fell, like 70, 80, all the way ended up 130 pips. So if you're patient, you can catch bigger moves off of these as well, but it doesn't always happen. Yeah, that's fire. That's fire. Man, and in all reality, how many people you guys like have ever got on a Zoom and broke down price like that from a higher time frame all the way to a 1 minute to the break of a 15-minute breakout lows? Like, nah, there ain't no one doing that. Look at that. Ended up being a huge wick. That was fire. See how sneaky we are with that trade? That like we were in a wick. We were the wick. Sheesh. So yeah, I mean that's it. We waited patiently. We noticed the price action. We waited for. I literally broke down everything. Candles breaking lows within consolidation, which most people would actually get really confused about, all the way to the 15-minute candle is going to close out the 1 minute low. Once it breaks, we're going to enter on the break of it. This and that. Like I don't think this couldn't have got any more clear. I don't think. We literally sat here, stalked this thing since when, we were watching price when it was up here, 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning. Pretty much 2 hours later, here we are. We waited, got our move. And if you got greedy and didn't take any off, especially after it pumped a few times, the first drop was about 8.5. And then the second one, after we pulled back and tested was over, 13. If you got greedy, like that's on you. That has nothing to do with me. Patience and then execute. It's fire. So this is where as well people go wrong. They sit and overtrade, they miss, they want more pips, this ain't enough, that ain't enough. Don't be doing all that. That's it. Literally one trade. You waited 2 hours, you're really gonna go lose it all. Just because you want more and get greedy? Nah. Tomorrow's another day. So anything else from anyone at all or no? Because if not, I am going to, my day is complete. That's it for me. We caught our move. We got what we wanted here. So it's not bad at all. I don't care about what gold does. I don't care what nothing does with any range for the rest of the day. I don't care about getting back in GU. I don't care about nothing. I got my move, made some money. That's it. I don't know if I can. I don't even know if I can upload a picture in this thing. No, I don't think I can. Oh, I know what I can do though. Let's see here. So just like I stated on the 1 minute lows, when they broke, I would take it. There's the wick. When it broke, I sold. Price melted. I covered the money. That's simple. Yeah, no problem. We'll catch you sometime in the chat, probably. So I'm not gonna be surprised. This thing's probably gonna roll over and end up breaking back down and hitting the overall target. So I imagine that's what's gonna happen here. It might even happen right here. Let's see. Let's see if the full range gets hit. There's some volume in this candle. That guy came flying down. Oh, ooh, we're gonna break the lows here and keep going. Let's see. Create a top wick. If it goes back down and breaks that support again on the same candle, it's gonna go. Yeah, that's gonna be. Let's see what this news was actually before I hop off. Let's see what ended up. Let's see what ended up happening with the rest of that U.S. news. Look at that. So even with bad news on the U.S. dollar, right? Like even with bad news on the U.S. dollar, we still caught short positions on GU. That's hilarious. So that right there, like short GU means the US dollar is stronger than the pound, right? If there was bad news, a lot of people would have played this trade a lot differently. They would have looked at that and said, oh, bad news for the dollar. So our pound buys here are going to be good. We just collected their stop losses. Look at this open range here. You know what happens when there's this open range is that whenever people are trading off of areas like this, that's where they put all them stops and everything else. It's just clear range. It's clean. It's a clean area to run in. Now, like we obviously, some of you guys aren't in, like we have the paid group, we have the free no risk group, then we have the paid one as well. So we work a lot more like Zooms every single night of the week with the group, live trading sessions that, isn't going to be public every time, things like that. So if you guys are interested, you can hit me up, but that's going to be it for me. I'm hopping off here. I'm in this. We got our trade. Our day is complete. Don't sit and overtrade. Find something else. Go do something else. You don't need to sit and overtrade and worry about everything else. Just go do what it is you do throughout the day and then come back tomorrow, same time, same thing, ready to do the same thing every single time. So that's it for me. I will catch you guys later.